Hey, it's Ann Alexander with Exit Coast Real Estate Pros here in Myrtle Beach. We're going to start diving into your first-time homebuyer questions. So stay tuned and let's get rolling. Hey, welcome back. This is week 4 and we're going to talk about saving money. When it comes to buying a house, it's not just the down payment that you have to save money for. The down payment is what the mortgage company is looking for. It can be anywhere between 3 and 20%. With the first-time home buyer programs, there's some great programs out there that usually are around 3 to 3.5%. So depending on what the mortgage you qualify for is going to depend on how much you want to save up. So in the last couple weeks we've talked about like a $200,000 mortgage. So if you want to save 3.5% of that would be $7,000. Okay, so but the down payment for the mortgage is not the only thing that you need to save money for. The other, there's several different ones here. The next is the closing costs. The closing costs are what incurs from your, appraisal, the attorney's fees, any recording fees and things like that. Those closing costs, I can actually negotiate for you and get, a lot of times I can get the seller to pitch in some money, on the contract to help with closing costs. So that will take a little bit of pressure off of you because the closing costs can be anywhere, again, between 2 and 5%. So normally for my first-time home buyers, I always like to tell you to make sure that you've got 7 to 8% of the home price available for your down payment and closing costs. But like I said, with the closing cost, that is always negotiable, and a lot, I usually will negotiate that for you with the seller paying some of those. The other things that you need to have money saved up for, one is an inspection. I will not allow you to buy a house without having a proper inspection. The company that I use and that I recommend, he is extremely thorough. And depending on what the size of the unit is, whether it's a single family home or a condo, it can range, it's usually around $400 to $450. So you do need to have that because they want that payment up front. The other part of saving money, you need to think about your moving expenses. Are you moving from out of town to here, or are you already here and you need to rent a truck, boxes, tape, anything like that? So you really need to kind of take those into consideration as well. Another thing that a lot of people don't realize is utilities. When you're moving into a new home, you have to turn on the utilities, whether it's your gas, your water, sewer, things like that. Sometimes the HOAs, homeowners associations, will have part of that as part of your homeowners association dues. However, when it comes to gas, electric, cable, things like that, you need to make sure you have the money to get those turned on. And a lot of those companies want a deposit. Again, that's going to depend on what your credit score is too, of how much they're going to want down. So those are some things to think about as well. If you're buying a home that that is going to need some repairs, let's say I've negotiated that the seller is going to take care of a lot of the repairs, because we have what we call a repair addendum, which I then, after the inspection, I then ask them to, pay and take care of most of the major repairs. But let's say there's a few repairs that the seller doesn't want to take care of, that you're going to do it yourself. So you need to have a little bit of money extra put away for that. Are you going to need furniture or appliances? Sometimes the sellers will take their refrigerator with them or their washer and dryer with them. A lot of times those don't convey, which means that they don't come with the house. If you're moving into a bigger home, you're going from a small apartment, let's say a 1 or 2 bedroom apartment into a 3 bedroom house, you're going to need some furniture. So you've got to make sure you've saved up money for the furniture as well. And then the last thing, like it's kind of going back to the moving expenses, but the moving van and any supplies that you would need from there. I have a great tool called Making Moving a Breeze, and I will attach that to this description, so that way you have that, so you can kind of keep in mind the different things that you're going to need when we get to the moving part. But just wanted to give you a heads up on saving money. I mean, you're going to need a little bit to make sure that you're ready to make that move. So I'll see you next week when we talk about your credit and strengthening your credit score. Have a great week.